Hello, hello.
Oh, dit is altijd
Hello.
poes.
Hello, boys. Can you do me a favor? Can you introduce yourself so I can adjust your audio?
Doris, after you, mate.
Thank you very much. I am Dors Prime. I'm a commander of the WFT clan. We fight together, and I present WFT in the KGL.
Perfect, thank you. And Hollis?
Yeah, I'm Hollis, General Lackey and Dog's Body in First AL, but do present the same as Doris, our team in the KGL as well, or represent, should I say?
Perfect. I think I've got you boys
Whatever the
both
word
dialed
is.
in. So, normal questions that I usually ask. I'll start with this one. Are you pleased with the results of this match?
Yes and no. There was one point where if WFT have acted differently, that was my fault. We could have captured Hotel. I'm 100% sure of that.
And personally, from my perspective, I mean, I was in armor, and I would say definitely not. Also,
Fair enough, fair enough. Can you tell us, before I go into the strategy, can you tell us what your roles tonight were?
I was infantry squad lead of our infantry squad.
and I was the gunner in, well, a medium tank.
Okay. So, what was your strategy going into this match as your team?
From the start, the WFT was tasked to protect the tanks against AT infantry, which went really well. And we found out that actually the flank the tanks were supposed to protect was almost no defense from the enemy. So later, WFT managed to push up actually. And then we saw that 6GA flanked around, so the WFT turned around and protected the rear of the entire advance.
And Hollis, you are the tank. So, what was the tanks from your side tonight? What was the goal for you guys?
We were instructed to sort of for the first cap to just put down HE on the point, to be honest, and then head south as best as we could and try and screen from enemy armor.
So one thing going into this game then was the fact that I think this is the first match we've seen in this tournament where one of the capture zones was actually a 2-point cap. Did you guys plan anything specific around this style of match tonight?
Yes, we did, but actually because we did that plan, WFT waited too long because we were waiting for the plan to be executed, but one squad didn't manage to catch up, and that was actually the window for us to get into the hotel. So by waiting for all the squad, we threw our window to get into the hotel very early.
Okay, fair enough. And at the beginning of the match, we saw it was incredible to see on stream. There was a huge infantry push supported by the tanks on the warehouse. Why did you guys focus on taking that central warehouse first?
There are three key positions actually on this map. It's the warehouse, school, and the hotel for the first point, because all those three areas overlook the first point. So if you have not even one of the three, there's no way for you to capture the point.
And you mentioned the school. Is that the 3-story building like that covers Kirk and hotel where you can get on the roof?
It's a 2-story building. It's on the most northwestern side of the city.
Okay. So after you took the warehouse, what was the plan from there?
Hollis, this one is going for you if you want.
Yeah, I mean, I can only talk from an armored perspective, to be honest. The issue that you have with most infantry players is that they very rarely spend any time in a tank, around a tank, or whatever. So all you get screamed at is there's a tank, there's a Panzer III, there's a Panzer IV, there's a King Tiger, there's a Panther, there's 6 tanks on the point. So we were just told to head south, so we headed south with the other tank, and we didn't do particularly well, if I'm honest. Like I say, all we do is instructed sort of head south, see what you can see. We got down to the south, and we were blown up almost instantly. We didn't see where the shot came from, and then not long after that, I think the Firefly was taken out as well. Admittedly, we did see a Panzer IV on its own, which we did take out between the two of us. But yeah, that was it. We were just sent south.
I can vouch for that from my experience of tanking. When tanks are called out, usually everything is a Tiger tank on the map. Even if it's a Logi truck, it'll be a Tiger tank. So speaking of the tanks from your side, you fielded two tank crews tonight. Is there a reason why you only put 2 tanks on the field and not a third?
Yeah, so, sorry, Doris. Yeah, I guess the first thing is that it takes 3 guys out of infantry, as again, that I mean, realistically, it's boots on the ground, as you know, that win this game and capture those points. The other thing as well is it's a ticket bleed. If you're pumping through tanks or you're not having a great time in tanks, you're constantly losing tickets. And the other thing is you can also be chasing shadows as well, as you've just pointed out. You get the odd random marker. You spend most of the game creeping round. So yeah, from what I understand, I could be wrong, but I think those guys fielded 3 tanks. I don't know if you can vouch for that.
They did, yes, I believe.
So
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
Well, while I stick with tanks, then something that happened a couple of days ago is that they actually changed the values for tanks. What's your opinion on that quickly? While I have someone who plays competitively,
I've never liked the deck, to be honest. Full stop. I certainly I like it now that they've reduced the ticket amount, because you were just scared to take anything big out. But the whole issue with the deck system is that if you're up against, and I mean, we didn't even see any tanks apart from the Panzer IV, to be honest. But if what we were being told is right, and those guys had a King Tiger, a Panther, and a Puma, what chance do you stand against that? And certainly engage in a King Tiger from distance head on, you stand no chance.
it is something that has been said for competitive players. It can be very unfair for one side because of the RNG element. So hopefully, something in the future that I know a lot of competitive players have said they would like the ability to custom pick decks for like tournament games. So hopefully, Snazzy, if you're listening, that'd be a cool thing.
Yeah.
Same thing for AAS. Bring it back. It's a great game mode. RAS makes it too random for competitive play, but it's a better game mode than offensive if you do AAS. Snazzy, also a thing for you.
Cool. Okay, going back to the broad strategy of tonight then. How did you plan to take on the 2 caps? Can you go in a bit more detail with that?
I take this one because it was mostly infantry focused on the second cap. Iron 9 was made to take the north because they already trained on that as well. And after that, once they kept that, moved south. On the southern side, 2 first L squads and WFT would go into the forest, set up a blocking position by WFT, and first L would move into the cap. So WFT came there first, waited for the 2 first L squads. One made it, the other one got killed. And we were waiting for the other squad to come up as well again, but that took too long. So eventually WFT made the choice to attack together with 1 first L squad to a hotel. And when we came there was like 1 MG guy in there. So if we would have pushed earlier, we would have probably taken that hotel.
Fair. And we saw at some point there was actually a first AL squad pushing, I think it's called Crossroads, the 3rd capture zone. Was that a part of your strategy as well?
it's always useful, I think, to have people. I don't know, Doris, you might be able to say different if it was part of the grand strategy, but it's always useful to have people there because you can catch what's coming out of the other team's main. So it's always useful to have some form of disruption behind the lines, I suppose.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Just going back to the infantry side then, because every team in these tournament games seems to use a different structure for how they sort their squads. We see people run with 3-man, 5-man, 9-man squads. How do you guys organize your infantry squads?
Doris, one for you.
Yeah, we're just rolling with meta, which is 5-man squads currently.
Fair enough, fair enough. And can you tell us anything about your Logi tonight? Because I didn't actually see, I could be wrong, but I didn't see much use of mortars from either team tonight. Can you maybe tell us what the Logi team's objectives were tonight?
The Logi teams was mainly building FOBs and repair stations and doing that and disrupt the enemy a little bit behind the lines. The reason for that was because we have trained on this map a lot and we found out that the map is too small and too easy to maneuver around the entire front line because the points are mainly focused on the south
Yo, Dane.
west of things. So commander with the
Love
Zephyr
you.
can easily drive around and kill those mortars, place an HE explosive on there, and the mortars have to start from A again.
Fair enough, fair enough. Just sticking on the strategy for a little bit while. So you guys actually managed to take Kirk, which we saw on stream. There was an incredible infantry push from IR9. They did a great job taking Kirk. Hotel is notoriously one of the most stubborn positions because the fact you can build razor wire hedgehogs that we saw in this game on Hotel. How hard was it take? How hard is it to take Hotel on this map, from your guys' experience?
Almost impossible if the enemy, like what they did, blocked off every entrance except for one. And when you got inside, and once got inside, and there were like 6 guys aiming at that door, so there's no way that you win that firefight. And that's why Hotel is extremely hard to take.
Yeah, true. We saw about 5 to 10 minutes towards the end of the game that you guys called just to start going out for kills and play on kills. Did you kind of have like a hint that it might be close on tickets, that you might be able to bleed 6GA out with the ticket cap?
When we called it out, not yet, because they were still playing pretty aggressively. But the moment we got like to 20, their aggressive push also went down a lot, and that was probably the moment they got below 100. Because in your stream, I saw when we were on 60, they were on 120. So we were on 20, they were probably on 80. So they dropped their aggressiveness, and then we knew, okay, this is pretty close. Let's go even more for kills. And eventually it became 60 for them, 0 for us.
Yeah, you guys did pull the tickets quite close. I mean, it might sound like a lot, 0 to 60, but 60 tickets isn't really much in this game, considering an MSP is 10, a King Tiger, which you killed, is 15 tickets. Those tickets can bleed quite quickly.
Yeah, I mean, frustratingly, we got taken out not long from the end by anti-tank infantry. And as you'll know, as a tanker as well, the game has changed a lot recently, and it's the glory days of armor, realistically, in my opinion, are long gone in this game, because you spend more of the time avoiding rogue AT guys running around the entire map, bushwookies, than you do actually trying to engage the tanks or trying to engage bulks of infantry.
Yeah, it is incredibly frustrating, especially in competitive games. You do have, it's just one guy chasing you, but hopefully in the future with, the meta changes a little bit for that. But yeah, it can be incredibly hard as tank support. Well, moving on away from the strategy tonight and coming into this game, what was your opinion of 6GA? Is there anything about their team that worried you guys and you maybe took an extra step to prepare for?
I mean, the only thing, I like the 6J guys. I get on well with a few of them. Never had any issues with them whatsoever. I had heard on the grapevine that their armor play had increased or had got much better, which it has. So we
That's
did go
because they've been
into
playing
it
with
kind of
me.
thinking, right, these guys are going to be, or I certainly briefed the first AL guys that the tanks are going to be a challenge, which they were. Doris, I don't know from an infantry perspective, anything else?
Well, I saw them really moving like a wolf pack. At one point, it was a King Tiger, a Panzer II, and a Puma driving together, like not even 100 or 200 meters from each other. So even if one of our tankers was alone and engaged them, or with the two, they were still low, and the Panzer II killed off any infantry that moved close to the King Tiger.
Yeah, that's something I've had personal experience with. The 6GA guys, they always have one tank hovering around their main battle tank, and it is incredibly frustrating when you're going up against it. Sorry, was someone going to add to that?
No, so I was just going to say, I think you can get complacent sometimes and think that, yeah, that perhaps we're stronger, perhaps they're stronger, or whatever. But I think that it can be a grave error at times, because I think every team in this tournament has certainly stepped up their game.
Yeah, that is true. As we've seen, every game, all teams are improving on all their aspects, and that leads into my next question. Based on your guys' performance tonight, is there anything you're gonna take extra steps to practice going into the follow-up map next week?
For the infantry perspective, at least my squad, yes, if you have a plan, but something accelerates on your own, seize the moment more.
Yeah, and we'll mix the, keeping our cards close to our chest. We'll mix the armor. We'll mix the armor up a bit, but again, back to the deck issue. You can guarantee that next round we'll get a Panther as the heavy, and that's all we'll get.
I know that feeling. All right. Is there any standouts from tonight's match from your guys' team that you want to nominate as MVPs?
I have one guy, two guys actually, but that was from my squad because I saw them both. One is Wombles because he went like a lot of times great suppressing fire with the Browning MG from the Americans, which made us like do really great pushes with the squad of 4. And Robin Loller made a lot of sniper kills and sometimes even held off 2 or 3 squads on his own. So those guys I want to call out from at least my perspective that I know.
Yeah, and for me, Mwin is always a fair shout. You can give him an MG or give him a sniper rifle, and you're guaranteed anywhere sort of between 20 and 40 kills most games.
Fair enough, fair enough. While I ask if there's any viewer questions, do you want to put anything towards, or add anything, or say anything towards the other team? Chat.
Great match.
Do you have any questions?
Yep, like
your questions in chat.
I get on well with the 6GA guys. I think they're straight as an arrow, decent chaps, which can't be said the same for other people in the community. But yeah, I like 6GA.
Fair enough, fair enough. One question is they want to know your strategy for next week. I don't think they're going to answer that one.
Yeah, what
winning,
we'll do is
winning.
Have you got the file, Doris? You can send it over.
Yeah, that'd be great. If you could send me the file, that'd be awesome. I promise I won't share it. I think that's it, guys. So I appreciate you joining me, boys, and I'm looking forward to next week. Obviously, Group 2 is blown wide open now, and anyone can qualify for the semis. So best of luck next week.
I think it's fairly crucial for us. Doris was saying, I think we've certain people have got to lose, and we've definitely got to win. So it'll be another crucial one.
Exactly. So I will love you and leave you, boys. I'll move on to the next interview. Thank you for joining me once again, and good game tonight.
Yep. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers. Thank you for the stream.
No worries, man. Bye. Right, boys. That was Hollis and Prime. I appreciate them joining me. Thank you. Kisses to them both. Hello, Harper.
Hello.
Hello, man. Can you just introduce yourself so I can do your audio?
Yes, mate. How you doing? So I was commanding the 6GA tonight. One of the officers on the staff of the 6GA. 6 guards armored. Yeah.
Nice, man. Nice. I think I've got you in. So, first question I ask everyone every week: are you pleased with the results of this match?
I am so pleased. I am so happy. I think we did a fantastic job, to be honest.
Fair enough. Fair enough. So let's move on to your strategy. You were the commander tonight. Can you tell us what 6GA's strategy was going into this game?
Okay, so
phone
the
who
Borderlands
dis?
strategy was to hold at least one of the 2 double caps. That was the main plan. Just hold one of the 2. And it's obvious, I think, from the recording which one we chose to hold.
Was it hotel?
Hotel, yes, it was. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Sorry. Carry on. What was your strategy? Carry on.
Yeah, so we knew the first point was a bit hard to put bodies on, so we only initially put 4 dudes on the cap. I think Shasons and his boys there. They did a good job to delay the inevitable, but we always knew it was going to be hard to keep that point. So that's where the sporadicity of the other the other players came in. We had guys in the north of town, guys in the south, and guys all over.
Okay. Keeping on with your strategy, then your tanks tonight. Can you give us some in depth about what their job was?
Okay, so I think, yeah, as you mentioned to the other guys, we had the 3 tank strategy again. I think we like having quite a lot out at one time. It's a whole science behind our tanking, to be honest. We had the scout car, obviously Moore doing a fantastic job, getting a lot of ticket bleed for us in the north, and then the 2 main battle tanks working as you mentioned, like a pack, hunting the other armor assets.
While we're on tanks quickly, we've recently had this change to the tank ticket numbers, and they're incredibly low now. What's your opinion on that?
Yes, I dislike it personally. I think it's a change we're adapting to. Tanks are obviously quite a big thing, and we like the high ticket numbers. We like to, if you take out a King Tiger or you take out one of the main battle tanks, you want to feel rewarded for doing so. And I think reducing the I don't think I like it, to be honest, and a lot of the guys on our side don't like it either.
Fair enough. Getting back into the game then. So you didn't put much defense on 1-2-1, and your main defense was to hold hotel. It was very close at some points. If you lost hotel, did you have a backup plan?
Yeah, so we were trying to tease back the other cap, the Kirk cap. So we were teasing that towards the end. I know it ran out of tickets before we could actually do it. I think we were actually about to cap from the other Kirk, the Kirk cap back. So
yeah,
we threw a lot of we threw a lot of bodies at hotel. It was as you can tell, my voice is absolutely destroyed. There was a lot of commander comms going on, trying to get guys onto the cap, but yeah, trying to counter-attack, tease out that other cap as well was the plan.
Fair enough. And your Logis tonight, I didn't actually get much on the Logis tonight. What was your Logis team plan?
So the Logi plan was, pretty much the same as usual. So we usually have one guy just doing Logi points. We need to get ammo on points. We need to get, MGs and what have you. We did have a couple of mortars. I know they went down quite early, and we had to move them. The mortars, I think it doesn't always matter about kills with mortars. If you can mortar an area where they're likely to be, or to prevent an enemy going into that sector, I think that does a job as well. So, and these guys are really dedicated to do it. So, props to all the mortar guys tonight as well, because they don't always get as much love as some of the other, flashy squadrons get.
Yeah, that is true. Towards the end of the match, about 10 minutes towards the end of the map, the King's German Legion guys decided they're not going to get the cap. They're just going to go out and get kills at that point. And the tickets were quite close towards the ends. Did you realize how close the tickets were?
Yeah, so we had a quick glance at it, and it was getting down to it, wasn't it? So we were down to 100, just under 100, and everyone started asking the question, what's going on? have we got enough, or we always make on-field assessments to how much we think we've destroyed. So we ask the guys how much have we just start thinking about, have we got enough to sustain. And then we realized this particular match you only get 400 to start, so we knew it's a little bit lower than some of the other layers as well. So then we start thinking, okay, maybe we're not actually as bad as position we think we're in. 60 is still bloody close, and they gave us a real good show of what they can do. So it's going to be interesting on our attack to see what we can work with 400 tickets.
Speaking of your attack, is there anything you learned about the attack from King's German Legion tonight that you're maybe going to employ into your strategy next week? Obviously, there's probably things you don't want to say.
Yeah, there's a lot. We got a few ideas, which I won't mention, but I know they went for some key areas at the start for the first cap. So obviously the warehouse they tried to contest pretty hard. I'm not sure I want to divulge everything, but it's going to be interesting. We might try and switch it up just to see if there's another way of getting this double cap in, because it'd set us in real good stead if we can get 3 caps on our attack, and I think we'll be pushing to do so. I think we've got the skill and the ability to do so.
And everything is to play for going into the last round. Obviously, Group 2 has been blown wide open now, and anyone can qualify for the semis.
Yes. Yeah.
So I imagine there's going to be a lot of planning going into the final round 5 match, yeah?
Yeah, even more so. I mean, we've got a fantastic bunch of guys who do so much hours throughout the week, especially for this tournament. Just getting in every detail we can get to get that advantage, whether it's in tickets or positional or caps. I know we've not been the best at getting caps. Something we've looked at and we've analysed ourselves. We're quite low down compared to other teams in the standings. But we've won, what is it now? 5 out of 6, no more than that, 7 out of 8 games on tickets. So we've definitely got a strength and we're playing to it. But whether we can get some more caps in would be really good.
Yeah, well, speaking of strengths, the King's German Legion, they obviously have many strengths in their team. IR9 being one of them, former winners. Coming into this match, is there any strengths you identified from them and put into your strategy to deal with?
So they're very good at sending small squads into places you don't want them to be. So they're very good at splitting up into the 4 or 5 man sections. Last year we used to play. We obviously got our roots in realism, so we used to have bigger squads because that's what we used to. I think we're combating that now, getting used to it and getting good with having smaller squads and being able to coordinate effectively. I mean, I think we had a mix of 4 and 5 mans tonight. It might change for the attack. We like to assess it based on the layer and not particularly like just say, okay, yeah, this is the meta for every single game. We're going to use 4 mans exclusively. Like sometimes it's better to have a bigger squad if they're like holding the main cap, for example. Something we consider on each and every layer. So yeah, they're really good at splitting up and getting in behind you. So we try to like match or mirror their movements as best as possible with our own little squads. I think it's not always possible to find them in the grass, but we did all right.
That is something we did see. I think Zoid was maybe leading a squad, and it seemed when you got to the second cap that you had squads probing and counter-attacking against their attacks as well. I think Zoid was maybe leading a squad doing that.
Yeah, Zoid and his boys. So it was Boring, Sarwick, Yablonsky, I think, as well. Those boys are really, really attuned to that, and they got some awesome fob and rally destruction going on. Even though it's slightly risky having them away from caps, they do such a distraction. It's a distraction job and getting those rallies down, disrupting attacks, and yeah, they're really quick to maneuver, as well as all the other squads. To be fair, like we tell someone where they need to be, and they react quick enough to. We're quite flexible in the defense now. I'd say that's a massive improvement we've made.
All right, and that leads me to my next question then, which is based on tonight's performance from you guys. Is there anything that you're gonna double down on for next week and practice more? Maybe a weakness you spotted on your side?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're always quite committed to having a main plan So yeah, Tonks. We'll commit to Tonks.
Tonks.
No, we always commit to having one plan. Maybe we'll develop several for the next game, just so we've got options. We'll have 2 or 3 main options to try and probe or pierce this defense, and then I think instead of relying on one main one and having on ad hoc, made up ones on the fly. So I think we'll have 3 or 4 main plans to try and break down this defense.
Fair enough, fair enough. So you as the commander tonight, so you probably had a more unique position than anyone. Is there anyone you would nominate from your side as a MVP for tonight?
It's like trying to choose your favorite child, isn't it?
Yeah, but we all have favorites. Come on.
I'd say Williams did a fantastic job personally and as a squad lead on Hotel. So he was anchoring Hotel, and he did a really good job. I think he went 18 and something. As well as Boring on Zoid Squad, did really well personally. And then I'd say Moore as well. Scout car work, really fantastic work as well.
Fair enough, fair enough. Before I get to the viewer question, well, while I'm asking for viewer questions, is there anything you want to add or add to the other team?
Yeah, they gave us a good game. They're a good bunch of gents. We like playing against them. We've played them
any questions?
Previously in friendlies and whatever to improve both our skills. It's interesting what they think about armor and our armor, but I think we're becoming such a multi-facet operation. Then armor is a strong point, but we're always working on getting these logic plays going, and we was getting these infantry to complement. With Zoid Squad, for example, did quite well. They're a good bunch of dudes, and they gave us a really good game. So it'll be difficult next week.
Is it true that your tank started to improve after a certain someone started playing on your servers?
Don't know who you're talking about. Is it? Does it begin with a Y? No. Is it?
Right,
no, it's Dane, isn't it? It's Dane. Dane improved our tanks.
Dane? Come on, man. Dane's drunk 24/7. You don't even know what's going on. Have you seen him play mortars? You know what he does? He gets out a bit of
paper.
I've
not seen him play mortars.
He gets out a piece of paper and pen, and he does all the calculations on that. Come on, man.
He doesn't even use the calculator or whatever.
No, he's got this little ruler thing that he uses. He's stuck in the 20th century. Oh, well, the 19th century. He is.
Yeah, I mean, our tanks always were good. I think. I don't think you've seen Reed at his full potential either. He used to be an absolute monster. Reed and Anderson in a tank. You haven't seen that yet. So he's too far up the chain now to sit in one of those bad boys. But
I'm sure I can give him a run for his money. They want to know what the sport. I can't even say it. The Sportacity meme is. Someone's asking what that is.
What Sporadacity?
Yeah.
It's the extra ingredient into our success.
There you go. Well,
it means spreading out. Get spread.
Which you did do tonight. I mean, it turned pretty messy tonight after about halfway through the match. There was just squads running back and forth. It was a big back and forth, especially in the south.
Yeah.
Do I hear?
Yeah, the south was interesting, and there was definitely no raised voices on our squad comment.
Is there any point in the match that you guys knew you had the victory under your belt? Or did it come as a surprise?
Literally the last 2 minutes, we started capping back the other cap, and the attacks on Hotel died down a little bit, and I thought we'd maybe ahead on tickets, but we were capping. Yeah, I thought we were getting this better position, but they tested us right towards the end, of course. They dropped that smoke, and I thought they were going to make a big push, but yeah, they didn't. So I'm very, very happy with the win, but work to do next week for getting these caps in.
So are you confident going into next week?
I'm not confident. We're going to be prepared to be. Let's just leave it at that. We'll be prepared. It's a funny old game, and some funny old things can happen. So we'll have to see.
True. Well, I think that was all the questions. So, unless you've got anything else to add.
No, just cheers for streaming again. I think everyone loves joining the stream, and watching it back on the replay is really good as well. So we appreciate it from 6GA.
No worries, man. I appreciate you joining me, and great game tonight. Congratulations on the win, and I'm really looking forward to next week's game. So again, thank you for joining me.
No worries. Look, see you next week, mate.
Yeah, see you next week. Bye 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 bye. Chat. That was Harper from 6GA. Big shout out for him for joining me. And congratulations to 6GA on the win tonight. But it's still all to play for. You've got to do the same next week if you want to go into the semi-finals. Boom. The poll's up. 5-minute poll, guys. Go vote. I can only put 5 people on the poll. But there we go. The poll is up. I have you. Put some time in. Look, I've got video evidence of how good I am. 82-0 in a tank. And that's just from one game. There's multiple of them. There's multiple. My next goal is to break 100 with 0 deaths. Where can I poll? It should appear above the chat. It should just pop down. If you click the little arrow, it should just... Damn, man. Carl coming in with the 5 gifted subs. Dangerous Dan. Sorry, Dane. God damn it. I just read the wrong name. Dane. Mwah. You drunk Australian bastard. Callum, congratulations. Primitive Punk, Minster _IMT, and Sniper Soldier 31. Welcome. Who am I going to vote for? Personally, I mean, I'm more in the Puma. Did great. Don't get me wrong. He took out several tanks and also Logis, I believe. But just for the cinematics of it and how beautiful it looks, I'm casting a vote to Boring. With that kill on the Hellcat before he bled out, I'm going to vote for Boring. He's my vote. Just to spice up the vote a little bit. Carl, thank you for the gift and the subs, man. And welcome. If you just got gifted the sub, welcome. If you type !sub, I think it tells you all the perks and stuff in-game. This game was incredible. It was an incredible game. It was very close. I like when teams are very well balanced and they're very even, but also have different approaches to things as well to make it interesting. So there's obviously a show of different tactics. So you obviously, the biggest standout would be the tank difference, where both teams had different mentality when it comes to their tanks. But yet, still, the teams have balance, you know? It's not just a cakewalk. It's not like, you know, one team is just completely steamrolling another team. It's very back and forth. I liked it. This was a very, very even game. I liked it. So congratulations to both teams. I think it was incredible. You both played very well. And it's not over. I mean, this is a 2-set rounds. So you've got the follow-up round where 6GA is on the attack Sunday next week, which I'm casting. So make sure you subscribe. You can also join my Discord to see when I'm going live and all that stuff. So really, it comes down to next week. 6GA won this week. So King's German Legion... Pressure's on them now. The pressure is now on King's German Legion. King's German Legion need to win next week. There's more pressure on them. And they're on the defense against the Americans. Obviously, the Americans against the Germans. The M1 Grand against the K9. Turn on the sound effects. Okay, I'll turn the sound effects on. Now that things are over. Look at that vote. Come on, guys. There's like a minute left to vote. There's a minute left. If you haven't voted...
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded.
Go vote. There's a minute left. If you're a new sub, you might have to refresh for things to work. Vote. Go vote. Go vote. And only subs can do like channel sound effects. Craig, thank you for follow. Love you. If I missed any follows, I'm sorry. I got spammed. Stop the count? No, no. There's not going to be any rigging in my elections. The Russians don't play Postscriptum. We're Russian free until Bloody Fall comes out, and then it all goes to hell. It all goes to hell once the Russians join. There's like 20 seconds left. Go vote. Get your vote. I will say, I wish that my opinion on the tank stuff, firstly, I wish they didn't do it in the middle of a tournament. I wish they delayed. I think doing it in the middle of a tournament. I know this tournament isn't technically official. It's not endorsed. I'll get into that. Congratulations to Moore. The MVP vote is over. So congratulations to Moore, who was the tank in the Puma on 6GA. He gets 40% of the votes. Boring came in second place with 33% of the votes. Baker, 13%. Wombles, 7%. And Mwin, 7% as well. So congratulations to Moore from 6GA. You won MVP from tonight. GG, my dude. Thank you for everyone who voted as well. As I said, this interview, also the gameplay, will all be uploaded to YouTube in 2 separate videos. So if you're not subscribed on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. Only 40% of people who watch my videos are subscribed. What the hell? 40% of the people? Go subscribe. Go subscribe. Why? And this is my point for YouTube now. This is gonna say in the video. Why aren't you subscribed? If you're one of that 60% who hasn't subscribed to my channel, subscribe. Subscribe to the channel now. Do it. Do it. I'm looking directly into you. Do it. Subscribe.